My title is A Change of Season. To me, it's meaning about my generation, from my parents, my grandparents, to myself and my little daughter. Sharing the story. And first of all, I'm going to introduce myself because our elderlies, they told us, if you're going to stand in front of a crowd, you got to introduce yourself first. So I know there's some Navajo people, are native, that are here. That I'm going to introduce myself as Navajo, then English. Yate beneshe ya Cora Yazzie hunshia. Ado Encino de ya ache at Hasata. But I'm originally from Counselor area, and the ne ya Nshlido ado tone Nshinge ya Hashkahadzon Shlon Lezatlana Bashchin ado Shanale ya Kiaani Dandla ado Chache ya Nakaidana Oda ya Astanansha. I just said my name is Cora Yazzie. I'm an in-law at Encino, but I'm originally from Counselor, New Mexico. I bring rabbits at Encino. So my native tribe is Navajo, Dene, and my clan is born from yucca plant and born to mini goats. And my grandpa, my dad's dad is Red Street people, and my mom's parents are from the Mexican people. So I've seen a lot of Mexican people around here, so they're my grandpas. And it's been, an honor to be with the Hasbídító for 3 years, community garden, and it's been 2 years having our own community mobile farmers market. And so I'm very proud, and I have some crew here and new growers that came with us, and I just want them to have them stand and have people get to know you, whoever the Hasbídító growers are. I'm very proud that we're helping our community to have healthy vegetables and fruits. And I'm going to start from here, from my parents, what I've learned from them, what they taught me. This is my niece. Her name is Charmaine. She's one of our youngsters that helps us with their growing. Today I'm going to talk about my grandparents and parents, how they raised me with a big cornfield. And this is my mom. They taught me a lot from their farming experience. I remember when I was a childhood that they used to have big cornfield. That time, they didn't have fancy machinery to work with their field, that families and relatives used to help one another. It didn't matter whose field it is, or nobody cared if they weren't going to get paid. All it mattered was getting the job done. The main thing they grew was corn, squash, watermelon, and few family had fruit trees like apples and peaches. That time their tools used to be special cane to dig holes, to plant seeds. Shovels were still being used They use wagons and horses to haul water from springs, wells, and windmill. Only a few families had vehicles to use around their surroundings. They even taught us many ways the corn was being used. They use it for food, such as blue mush, kneel-down bread, steamed corn, blue cornbread, and also Navajo cake. Navajo cake is like for us young girls, when they get to their puberty, they do a special ceremony for them that they have to grind corn for 3 days, and they used to dig out pit and pour the cornmeal in there, and they bake it overnight. Then in the morning, they uncover it. They cut it out, and they have we call it quinalta, and they're the one that they had to cut out the cake and pass it to their relatives and friends who ever attend the ceremony. That shows and tells that that they become a woman, and that they're gonna share their food, and through the future they're gonna keep on working and learn what ladies' job is, and that's how we've been taught, and so that's what they have to go through, and they even have to run early in the morning before the sun comes up for long distance for like a week, and then afternoon and evening. So that's what quinalta is when they do the Navajo cake. So that's what our elderlies, taught us to do, and then they also dry corn for other use, like storing it for winter season. They even use it for ceremony, especially for like corn pollen. The corn pollen, they have to make it early in the morning before the sun comes up. They have to tap the tip of the corn. There's like yellow powder stuff that they have to take off to collect. And they use it for prayer and for like morning prayer, or when somebody's sick, or through ceremonies, they use that corn pollen. And even for corn, they use for prayer and blessing. Like in the morning, they use white corn, and I think the blue corn was in the afternoon, or yellow corn, and afternoon and evening. And that's how they use it. And then comes to think of it right now, back then it was hard work. And I remember my grandma, my Nellie, saying that you have to be out there in the cornfield early in the morning every day if you want to have good and healthy crops. Even if it gets too hot to be out there working and harvesting, back then family never kept secrets from each other, and never kept secrets from each other. So I'm very proud that I was blessed with grandparents and parents, that they shared their side of the story. And even my dad passed away a year ago. I'm pretty sure, he's proud. That I'm up here, doing the presentation. and I know he's beside me. He died from cancer, and a week before he passed away, we were blessed. My mom was blessed with fencing material from Quivira, and he's seen the fencing materials being brought in, and he told us that that not to have it be laying around the house, be collecting dust. To make sure that we put it up around the cornfield. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Make sure you guys do that, to work on it, to help your mom, help with his cornfield. So, we remembered me and my husband when we came out from the hospital after we did his funeral service. The next 2 days, we got back to the house at my mom. We started putting the corner brace, the fencing. And right now, we remember it by my dad. I'm going to remember it by my dad, the fence that we put it up. So that's how my dad was. He taught us a lot. He talked to us. He lectured us. And I'm glad, that he spanked me. And anyway, that's how my dad was. I still remember him, and I missed him. I wish he was here. And anyway, so now growing up and a mother of one daughter, I'm 41 years old, and not 40. I was 41 years old when I had Soraya, and now I'm 49. So even though I got the white hair, that's so, but I'm proud of it though. I don't think of coloring it. So I'm going to keep it as it is, because God gave us a gift, a special gift, not to change. So a lot has changed from past to present. That starting our own gardening and harvesting has been a lot of work, but we enjoy it, and we enjoy it every year. We still plant the Three Sisters and experience of a lot of things. This is me, my husband. And this is the Three Sisters, the corn, squash, and watermelon. And fruits such as kale, chard, bok choy, beets, turnips, Chinese cabbage, and tutsoi. That's what we've been growing year by year for like 2 years now. So a lot of our native tribes, including my family, didn't know what they were or how to prepare it. So the help from Walter McQuay, where's Walter? Right there. And Taylor Wilmot, they always put up a food demo for us at the chapter houses. So I thank Walter and Taylor. And at the chapter house around our area, making recipes for the vegetables and passing them out to our communities. We also encourage our kids and students to eat healthy foods invite kids to be part of our garden demo, even in our schools. We started our own community mobile farmers market last year. So this year we increased a lot from last year, selling our crops that we want to help our people to be healthy. So this is what we do, do food demonstrations. And a lot of our people, don't know how it tastes, No, we just see it in Walmart, grocery stores, or on TV, So now we experience it, and like I'm saying, we do food demonstrations, so it tastes really good, especially mixing all of it. So we enjoy it, and that my family and community don't have to drive to long distance to buy their vegetables, especially during summertime. Summertime, my husband gets laid off from school, and so we already have vegetables out in our backyard. We don't have to drive to the store to buy it. So we just walk out there and start picking it. And so I'm very proud, what we do. So even now we use all different kind machineries and technology. We have water tanks, strip lines, tap water, greenhouse, and different chemical to treat our crops and bugs, especially aphids. Fertilizers, cover crops, and raised beds. A lot's been made easy for us, but still a lot of work. And from my experience, I still need to pass it on to my daughter and other kids that are behind us. So, and this is our growers that's been helping us, and that's been with the Hasbídító, and that's our mobile, our farmers mobile. So, and then this is my daughter, Soraya. She's right there. Soraya, stand up. That's Soraya. And now passing it on to my daughter, Soraya Lopez. She is 9 years old and going to school at Encino Day School. I still share my story with her and other kids about planting and harvesting. I also have her attend the Quivira conference every year so that she will, experience it and share her information with other kids. I also want her to know that her grandparents and parents went through, how we all survived, and that her elderlies didn't have health problems, that back then, people didn't go or stay in hospitals because they used to eat healthy foods. And so she usually tags along with me when we plant, or when we do garden work. When we have garden meetings or farming expo, she usually shares her garden experience with other kids in the community. I tell her, remember that what your grandparents, these are the kids, and what your grandparents and us as parents, me and Yazzie Lopez, tell you, so that when you have your own kids, you have a story to tell and share it. She still remember what her grandpa told her about her hair. Before my dad passed away, he wanted to have all his grandkids to be gathered, at his house. So we took them to see him, and he went and talked to them, to every one of the grandkids. So when we got there, it was her turn to stand in front of her grandpa, and her grandpa got a hold of her hair. She had braided hair on both sides, and her grandpa got a hold of her hair and told her that not to think of cutting your hair. And the reason why he said that was, if you cut your hair, that you won't get rain for your plants. So that was, in our natives, our hair, it represents, rain. So that's why, he told her not to cut her hair. So now, no, we've been getting a lot of rain. So I told him, don't ever cut it, because she kept asking me, can you cut my hair? When are you going to cut my hair? So I tell her that don't ever cut your hair. Remember what Grandpa told you. So you better think of that, or else Grandpa's going to come back and spank you. So anyway, that's what our hair represent, and so I'm very proud. He talked to her, and she remembers it, and this is how we've been raised. Raise our daughter. Even his father has been teaching her a lot of things. I really honor and respect my elders and my parents for having us and keeping our Navajo tradition going strong. And I thank my mom, that she's here with me. And but foremost, I want to thank God for rain, sunlight, and healthy food on the table. And also thank Quivira staff, Catherine Baca, Walter McQuay, Watson Costello, Mario Atencio, and Taylor Wilmot, for helping us with this mobile farmers market and supporting us. And I want to thank everybody that attend the conference, that you support us too, and you help us with your ideas, advice and support. And I just want to thank all the hotel staff, for our stay, our food, and I just enjoyed the banquets. And last night I was telling one of the sister from Australia, I forgot her name. I was sitting by her, and I was looking at the table. There was too many dishes. And we have us native, we're not used to a lot of dishes being used. And I was looking at the table, and I was like, which one is mine? There was like 3 forks too, and I didn't know which fork to use or what to use for. So I just used 1 fork, but the other 2 were still clean because I didn't want that, dishwasher. Wonder if I can help back there to wash all these dishes. So that's how I enjoyed being here, for the conference. And thank you, everybody. And we're not used to being time, us natives, Navajos. We don't go by time, we go by the sun. So us is like going by Navajo time. So I was just like, sweating and getting nervous, but I got my job done, so I'm very proud, So,
thank you. We have time for a couple of questions for Watson and Cora, if anyone has them. I see Eric.
Yeah, that was really inspiring. Thank you. What are you doing perhaps to take this model of the mobile across the whole res?
Go ahead.
Um,
Oh, you want me to do it?
how I wanted to do it, I want to keep it going and have our youngsters, keep the farmers market going, and I want more people to join us, to make a big feel to continue it on and try to. We're thinking of starting a co-op, but we're still talking about it, and I just want to have people to buy more produce, and especially the people that has diabetic, dialysis, and high blood pressure. So it's morely for them too, and us. So hopefully I answer your question right.
This year, more than ever, Hasbídító has gotten a lot of press, and the word is spreading, and other chapters have come to them and asked them to go talk to them and help them understand how they can start this program. We're doing a growers progression, so where every year we add more growers, so that in several years, the original growers will become the mentors to teach the next growers, and just keep building on this. And whenever we can, we spread the word. We get asked to speak at other chapters, and we're trying to do our best to get it out there.
If we have further questions, how can we get a hold of your organization?
Smoke signal? We have a website. It's hasbidito.org. You can download it. So that's where we're located. That's where we're at. Yes, we have a tri-community mobile market. We put this, the growers put this together about a couple years ago, and it's growing. They go to at least 3-4 different communities and schedule, and all the growers compile all their produce on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they put it out into communities with the trailer. So that's how they're doing it. Okay, and we're very proud of it. She did a good presentation. She did good.
Yay, Cora.
And I always say that. And, I always say they do all the work, and I get credit for it.
I want to mention one other quick thing is that through Indian Health Services, there's a program called COPE.
Yeah.
And they give prescriptions, actual prescriptions to families with health needs. And they take those vouchers that they get for these prescriptions are good for the Hasbídító Mobile Farmers Market. And they go in once a week and they get a box of produce that they pick and choose that they want from the mobile market. So
Yes.
This is great.
Okay, we have one more question over here to the right.
Thank you for the presentation. I work with Watson through a 319 project, and the amount of information and the amount of work they've done at Encino is very impressive from my perspective. They've done a lot, and just how they embrace all the principles and all the information that is being disseminated through Quivira Coalition, they've implemented into their daily lives, and I thought that was very impressive. I work for the Navajo Nation EPA Water Quality Program, and I attended the very first Quivira Coalition conference when we signed off on that petition for the Radical Center. So I've always been advocating Quivira Coalition, and I was really glad that Encino just embraced it all and ran with it. And across the reservation, there are community members that don't know how to garden, or they're familiar with the ranching, but there are very few people that are implementing these new ways to go about it, which is still the traditional teachings, but just different ways to think about it. So when people approach me about ways to go about it, I usually recommend them to contact a Encino chapter. And they haven't deviated from their practice, and they've been at it for 18 years, so they can't be wrong. So I tell the community members to go to them and ask them for advice. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Watson and Cora, for joining us. Yes. You
I
guys-
want to thank Catherine Baca, for asking me to do a presentation. When she first asked me, I was like, oh no. It's like, what did I put myself into? But I'm very proud, that she asked me to do the presentation, that I did it. And also, I almost used up all my daughter's notebook. Like what brother was saying, for myself, I don't really know how to go about the computer and especially with the phone, texting. Because when I tried doing texting through the phone. All that letters, it just keeps going on and on, like A, B, 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 and all that. So I don't really bother it, So I use my daughter's notebook, and that's why it's getting all thin, because I keep crumbling it, making a mistake, going to the next page again. So I have to buy her a new notebook when I get home.
Big round of applause for Watson and Cora.